All right, he's Steve Nash, the Lakers guard, joining us, Dan Patrick Show. How are you, Steve?
I'm doing great. How are you, Dan?
Good, good. Where are you?
I'm in Vancouver.
Oh, how's Vancouver? I loved it during the
Beautiful
Olympics.
British Columbia.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, no, it's amazing, and it's nice. It's nice and warm here at the moment. It's hard to beat when the sun's out in the city.
You recognize when you walk down the streets?
Sometimes. Yeah, I have 19 health clubs, so shameless self-promoting of my name on buses around the city kind of gives it away.
Wait, you got your picture on buses with your health club?
Not my picture, but we have obviously my name. We prefer to use handsome and attractive models.
So that's why you're not on there?
Yeah, that's exactly why.
You care about the NBA Finals, watching it?
I do. Yeah, no, I think it's going to be great. I'm really looking. To be fair, I haven't been able to see a lot of it just because I've been extremely busy. But I think this is going to be great, and I'm fascinated to see how it plays out.
Now, remember when you were on the show, and this is where I said you were leaving Phoenix, and I thought you were going to go to Miami, and it got a lot of play.
Right.
You touched on that. Do you ever think about what could have been? Were you even remotely close to playing for the Miami Heat?
No, I wasn't. I mean, obviously I knew that would have been a great opportunity basketball-wise. But, I think, my kids, I ended up making the decision so I could be close to my kids. And they're in Phoenix, so, that trumped everything. But, I realized basketball-wise. The other thing was also, I was getting 3-year offers elsewhere. Miami was, 1-year opportunity if we had even explored it. So, it wasn't really that into consideration first and foremost because of proximity to my kids.
Who else offered you a 3-year deal?
Toronto, New York, LA, and that's it.
You look back on the season with the Lakers. At what point did you say, this isn't going to end well?
Well, I didn't know that it wouldn't end well, but I knew we were up against it, pretty early. We were, you look around and guys weren't themselves physically, and you could tell that early on. And then, trying to fit the pieces together was, providing a serious challenge. And then, also the coaching changes and what that entailed. So, I could tell. And then I broke my leg second game of the year, so it just felt like, we were going to be up against it big time to try to turn into something great or something even close to what we'd expected. So we never really had that, that real belief or that rhythm or constant, time together to believe and feel good about it. So it was early that you could tell it was going to be tough.
When Phil Jackson was on a couple of weeks ago, I said, do you think that this Laker team could have won a championship as him coaching? And he said, no, I don't think so. Maybe Western Conference Finals. As you look at this next season, obviously depending on Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard comes back, let's say. Are you title contenders?
Well, we'll see. I think the interesting thing about this summer is that, there could be a lot of roster movement. And we had a lot of guys that may not be back or other guys that potentially won't be back. So it's going to be interesting to see how the roster rounds out. And obviously, if Dwight's back, that it's kind of a game of dominoes, as you know, when free agency hits. So I think there's too much to say, but I think potentially, yeah. I mean, potentially we could be a contender when Dwight comes back and we fill out the roster. I think especially having a training camp together, good things could happen, and we can put ourselves in a position to get somewhere near the expectations we had in the past. But, like I said, a domino's got to fall for us. So we're hopeful Dwight, realizes the opportunity it is to win in LA, and we can start building around the big fella.
Hey, Steve Nash, Lakers point guard, joining us, Dan Patrick Show. Will you reach out to Dwight Howard this summer?
Yeah, absolutely. We hope. It's you hear so much. He's just one of those guys that draws so much attention, and it always seems to come out wrong. Possibly too. You never really know. So I definitely will talk to him, and it appears that he's gonna do the circuit and take the best opportunity. But I'd like to hear from Dwight what he's thinking, because I always feel like what he's thinking and what is portrayed in the media isn't always exactly the same. So I'll definitely reach out. We'll definitely really want him back.
How old do you feel with Kidd and Hill retiring?
That was a low blow by those two guys out there on my own. Especially in very quick succession, it was kind of like, oh God, let's jump ship quickly here, all of us at the same time. So, but it's one of those things. I obviously had a terrible year injury wise, and a lot of that was bad luck with the broken leg, and when I was. Before the season, in stretches during the season, I really felt great. So, more than anything, I just need to try to assimilate to the new setting, new group of teammates. And so I'm hanging in there.
Well, sometimes when I can't help but look back on that Phoenix roster when it's you, Jay Kidd, and Kevin Johnson, and KJ was the star at the time. At what point did you realize I can play with these guys? I'm just as good as these guys.
Yeah, I think, for me, I was always an underdog. I had one scholarship offer, fought my way into the first round at Santa Clara. And, I was playing against two guys that I really looked up to every day in practice. So, I was doing well. I was getting better. I was obviously showing improvement along the way, as much that, my second season, I played over 20 minutes a game with those two guys on the team, which was, was a pretty – great accomplishment for a second-year player at the time. And I think one of the key moments for me was Kevin Johnson said to me one day, in the locker room, he says, "You're as good as anybody I've played against."
Wow.
And he goes, "You gotta believe in yourself. You can do everything that everybody else can do, and just don't stop believing in yourself and keep working at it, and it'll come around." And it kind of gave me a lot of confidence. He didn't need to do that, and kind of justified all the hard work and the little bit of belief that I did have in myself, especially in relation to these two guys that I really looked up to.
But I remember when Dirk Nowitzki, they really tested him because they thought he was soft. He was a European player coming in. Did you get that kind of? They were yelling stuff from the bench at him. Players who were on the opposing team were calling him soft when he was. He goes to Milwaukee, then he goes to Dallas. They just didn't think he was a tough guy. Did you face that?
I didn't face that. I think, I went to college in the States. I grew up playing, hockey and soccer, rugby. So I don't know that it was, and being a point guard, I think it was just a different set of circumstances. But for Dirk, I think he came into the league and you could say he was soft in a way because he was young. He hadn't developed yet. I think he was 19. It was a whole new world. I think he was trying to figure out. So I think sometimes his head was spinning, but obviously, he developed. He had this incredible skill set and potential, this matchup nightmare. And as he developed, he really became one of the tougher players in the league. Obviously he's not going to go out there and hammer people physically, but mentally he's as tough as they come. Especially as you can see, not only in the championship run, but just throughout his career, the way he's played in the fourth quarters and end of games. He really is as tough as they come. So, that's something that is hard for a lot of guys to overcome. But I think he always had it in him. It was just he came so young. He was so thin, and it was a whole new world. He wasn't just trying to figure out the speed of the game in the NBA. He was trying to figure out where he was going to get lunch. So it was a serious life lesson for him to step into the NBA from Germany at 19.
What are you doing? Your foundation is doing soccer clinics. What, New York and L.A.?
Yeah, we have a charity soccer game, a showdown. It's I think it's our 6th year in New York. We play kind of like a Rucker Park, where they have a chain link fence field, like right in Lower Manhattan, Sarah D. Roosevelt Park, right on the Lower East Side there. And we have a 7-a-side game between NBA players and professional soccer players, and it's the atmosphere is amazing. It's like people from New York, just everyone walks up to the field. It's free. Obviously you can go to the website, stevenash.org, showdown to get VIP tickets on the field. But it's just one of those cool events where people from all over the city just, come after work or after school and come to the park. And there's NBA players and European soccer pros right there having a game. And, it's kind of one of those things we just started as for fun. And here we are in the 6th year. And it's one of those kind of fun events every summer in New York City. And this year, obviously, playing with the Lakers, we're going to have the same game in Los Angeles at the Red Shield Community Center. So,
good.
June 26th June 26th, New York City, July 14th in LA. Go to stevenash.org/showdown to get tickets and get all the information. But it's really got a cool atmosphere. We should get you out there one of these days.
Oh, no. I'm more like a Beckham, I just want to look good on the sidelines. That's all. I bend my elbow. I bend my elbow like Beckham. I just drink beer and I'll watch. How's that?
You can definitely do that. You can look good drinking beer, too.
You're also doing NBA Game Time. Is that Sprint related?
Yeah, Sprint, Sprint.com. There's a great app, NBA Game Time. So you can also transfer and get the new HTC One phone. If you get the new Sprint HTC One and get a Sprint number by June 30th, you can save $100 on the phone. They're amazing devices, so that's a total win-win for everybody. But the app is amazing too. So the NBA Game Time app. So it's all happening.
Sprint.com/NBA. Before I let you go, Carl Malone gave me his all-time starting 5. He did not include Michael Jordan in there. If I said, give me your starting 5, all-time, you want to put yourself in there, you can. If not, who's your all-time starting 5? Yeah, he put in Pippen instead of Michael Jordan. Go figure.
Wow, yeah. I mean, I don't know what to say about that, but I mean, I'd take Magic, Jordan. You know what? I would say Bird. LeBron's, becoming that guy though. And then, man, it gets pretty hard. Tim Duncan, I love just because I played against him and he thwarted my championship attempt so many times. And then center, that's difficult. I mean, look at all these guys. Bill Russell. I mean, how can you not pick him? But Kareem, Chamberlain, Shaq. I mean, there's so many great centers.
Come on, you get one.
I guess I'll say Russell. He won all those championships. He's done it in different ways, and he's if you're gonna have to say who's different out of that group, he was the one who's different.
Hey, it's great to talk to you. It's stevenash.org/showdown for the soccer to benefit kids coming up this summer, and also sprint.com/NBA. Have fun in Vancouver. Thanks again, Steve.
Fantastic. Thanks, Dan.
Okay.